Oh, hello. Welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations of Clay. My name is Louis Palladini. Tonight I'd like to do an animal that everyone loves. And I would like to do a sea otter. I figured that'd be a very interesting, and it's a very playful animal, and it's cute. And I'll show you how to do that from start to finish. And what I liked about this, I want to keep a nice light tan color. You know, you get the yellow for the eyes here, as you can see there, and the black. And I think it'd be a very nice little project to do tonight. And I really enjoyed making them this week. I will show you the types of clay that you can use. There's an oil-based clay such as this, which never hardens. This is the one I used to use all the time as a kid. And, oh, it was awesome. I mean, I used to make things all the time, and then when I get tired of them, then I just make something new and replace it. Another type of clay that you can use is an air-hardening clay such as this, and it hardens like in a couple of hours or overnight, and then you can paint it. And it's a very good clay. It's permanent though. Once you paint it, you can't use the clay again. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, and you can fire it in the oven at 275 degrees for like 15 or 20 minutes, and it becomes hard. You can drill it, sand it. It lets you do a tremendous amount of detail, and that's why I love this particular type of clay. I'll show you the size clay balls you can use. I'll show you what I did tonight. We're going to start off with the body, and we're going to make the tail and the head out of this size ball of clay here. I just kind of want to give you a rough idea of how big it is. The two front legs are going to be these size balls of clay, and then the rear of legs are going to be these size ball of clay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to develop the body. So I will show you, I'm going to get the one that's unpainted. What we're going to be doing is we're going to do the head here, we're going to do the body, and we're going to create the tail. So I'll show you what that looks like from above. And then I'll kind of flip that over so you can kind of see underneath there. And that's the piece that we'll be creating right now. I'll show you how to do it. So we'll take this, and you just kind of want to squeeze it a little bit like this. And then you just kind of work it in your fingers. You almost want to make like a potato shape right now. See how that's almost like a potato? And then what we do is we're going to kind of lengthen this tail out. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you, we just kind of pull on it like this. You just keep going, working it like this. Just like this. You want to just kind of work that clay just like that, and we'll kind of pull on it a little bit, and just like that. And see that nice shape that I just made? That's how we'll start with the tail. Now we're going to work on the body. So I'll just work that a little bit, and then I'll try to make the head too. So just kind of work that like that. So this piece here, you almost want to make this, see how I'm almost like separating a round ball of clay over here? See that? See how that looks? And see, so we're starting to make the shape of the head. So I'll just keep working it, just like that. And we'll just keep doing that. Just like that. And now I'm gonna proceed to make the snout. I'll show you how we're gonna pull this out a little bit. Just like this. So what you do is kind of pull the clay out a little bit like this. See, I'm just kind of working that a little bit, pulling it out from the head. Just like this. Then I'm just gonna kind of look at it from the front in a minute. I want to just kind of see how that is. Just like that. See that? See how I tried to pull the snout out a little bit? See that little snout, how it's coming out? You just kind of want to pull like that. See how I kind of pull it a little bit? And we want to do that. So we'll just keep working them. Just like that. And we'll do that. Want to just do that. And then we'll kind of look at them like that. And what we're going to do is I think we'll try to make now that I'll just show you what the body looks like right now. See how that looks? Get the nice tail, the body. That's what it looks like from above. You see how I kind of pulled the snout out a little bit, the round head? And that's what it looks like from underneath. So we'll proceed to make some of the legs now. We're going to proceed to make the rear legs. So we'll take this, and I'll show you, I'll refer back to the sculpture again. See this leg here? This is what we're going to try to create. We're going to create, this is the right leg, and that's the shape that you want to create. And we'll just work on the leg right now. We're not going to worry about the foot. And this is what the other side will look like. We're going to create that leg there. And I'll show you how to do that. We'll proceed to make, so we're going to take this, you take the clay, and what we're going to try to do is kind of work, try to make the part that's near the foot, we're going to make that almost, we're going to thin that out a little bit. So the shape that we want is, see the shape? That's going to be the upper part of the leg, that's going to be the lower part of the leg. That's what it will look like from the side. And that's what it will look like from the side that's actually going to attach to the animal. So what I'll show you is we're going to take this now, and we're going to place that right here. So you're going to take that and place that right there. Just kind of work it in, just like that. Just so, see, I'm taking my fingers and working the clay in, and we can look at that, and I just want to make sure it's attached the right way. And then I'm going to flip it over, and tonight we have a toothpick, which we'll be using, and I'll show you, we're going to take that, and see this right here, and just kind of work that in like that. See how I'm taking the toothpick? And just kind of working that to kind of put it attach the leg a little better. You want to do it from this side, because if you don't do it from this side, it potentially could fall off. We'll proceed to make the other leg now, and I'll show you how we'll do that. We'll take this ball of clay here, and then we're going to take, and see, I'm just kind of lengthening it out, making it longer now. And see how I'm making this narrower for the bottom part of the leg. So just kind of keep pulling on that. See how that kind of looks? See how it's narrow there? You see how it's narrower down here? And then we want to take and see how I'm squeezing that between my fingers? We want to kind of flatten that out a little bit. So we'll take that and kind of work that like that. So we're going to proceed to take this, the sculpture now, the sea otter, and we're going to apply this to this side here. So see how I'm working? I'm going to take that, and we're going to work the clay in like this. See, I'm taking my fingers and working the clay up against the clay model. And we'll do that from this side too. Just like that. And then the next thing we want to do is we're going to work on the front legs. I'm going to take this ball of clay here, and we're almost going to kind of make it into a log shape. See how I'm pulling on that? Almost make that log-like shape. Just like that. And so we've done that. See how the shape? And that's what it looked like from the front, the side. So what we're going to proceed to do is I'll pick up the otter now, and we're going to take and we're going to place that right about here. We're going to work that clay in with our fingers, just like that. We're going to work that. Just like that. Just work it a little bit. Just like that. And we're going to proceed to do the other side. I'm going to take that leg now, that other ball of clay, and we're going to take and make that like into a little log shape. Just like that. Just going to work that like that. I'll show you the shape that we want. We're just going to work that. That's the shape. So now this will be the bottom part, like where the foot area is. And what we're going to do is we're going to proceed to pick up our sculpture now, and I'm going to attach it right about here. I'm going to take and work that back into the sculpture. Just like that. Just like that. So I'm just going to work in the clay in. So now what I'm going to do is we can go look underneath, and we can take and work that clay in. See how I'm taking the toothpick and just kind of work that clay in like that to make sure it's attached. And we'll do the same on the other side. I'll do the same here. See that? You want to take the toothpick and just work that in kind of so it attaches very nicely to the body. And now we're going to proceed to look at it to see if we need to do anything with the shape. It looks like there might be a little extra clay here in some ways. So what we can do is, like I've said in the past, we can do the subtractive technique. We can pull off a little clay from the bottom here, because I want to make sure that the legs are a little smaller. And I'm going to take a little piece off here. And then I'm going to proceed to take some pieces off the back here. See? And we'll just, because it looks like these are a little on the big side, so proportionally. So what I'm going to do is now you just can kind of take your fingers and kind of work that clay again and just work it like that. We can fix it. Even though, you pulled it off the end, you can round it out a little bit now. And that's exactly what I want to do. And then we'll do the same for this side. And I just want to make sure it looks all right proportionally. So what we can do is we can compare it to this one. See how they look very similar? We might work on the one that I'm working on right now a little more, but you want to see how the separation between the legs, see how that kind of comes out on the side, and it does the same here. You probably can see a better view from there. But what we'll proceed to do is I'll show you how to make that shape of that leg. So we'll just kind of keep working that with our fingers, just like that. And I want to see and what I might do also is I think we'll lengthen the tail a little bit. So we'll take the clay we took off here and we'll add it to the tail here to make it a little bit longer. See how I added that to the tail of the otter? Because I want to make the tail a little bit longer. It looks like it was a little on the short side. So I'm going to take and just kind of work that in, just like that. And we're going to, that way we can add it in, give it a little more length. I want to see that it's going to be long enough. Kind of work that in. See that? See how I took the clay and worked it in? You just got to add it. And then I'm going to put that down to see if it's long enough now. Which it appears that it might be long enough now. And what I think we'll do also is I want to build up the back a little bit. We're going to take some extra clay here, and we're going to build up the back a little bit. I want to give it a little better slope. So we'll take this clay, and I just added that to the back. See that? And just kind of work it in with your fingers like that. Just like that. You can just kind of work it in. Just like that. And I think we'll add a little bit more to give it the height that we want. So I'm going to take this, warm it up in my hands a little bit because it makes it more pliable if you just work it in your fingers. And what we're going to do is we'll add that here, just like that. I want to give it a little more height in the back. See, I'm just kind of pushing that in. And we're going to work that clay in a little bit like that, just like that. I just wanted to give it a little more height to the back. As you can see here, see how that's sloping up a little more? I wanted to give it a little more of a slope. just like that. So what we will proceed to do now is we're going to work on the feet a little more. So I'll get some extra clay. We're going to take some pieces of clay off here, and I'll show you roughly the size that we want, and we can fix it afterward. Let me pull these apart, and then we can go back to them in a minute. Okay, the two pieces for the front, I want to make them approximately this size, and I'll show you how to place those on. I'm going to take this and try to make like a foot, just like this. And I'll show you, you're going to flatten it out, just kind of like that. Now this is the shape. See it from the side, how thin it is? That's probably going to be the top part of the foot. This will be the front. So what I'm going to do is I'll take, and we're going to place that on the bottom here. And I want to see if it's the right size. I want to make it a little bigger. So what we're going to do is I'll roll this into another piece of, I'll roll the clay up again, and I'll take a little bit more, make the ball a little bit bigger. And then we'll try to make the foot. So I added clay to that, and to make it a little bit bigger. And now we'll work on the foot. So I'm going to try to square that off, just like that. So see, we did the exact same thing, but we made it a little bigger this time. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to attach it to the bottom, and we just kind of work it in. Just like that. And we'll do the same for the other side. I'll get another piece of clay, we'll put this down, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. We'll get this, I'm going to flatten this out again, just like this. And see how that's nice and flat? And that's what it'll look like from the top. And that's what it'll look like from the front. It's flattened out, so we're going to proceed to take, see, I'm going to put this on the bottom here. You know, if the proportions are a little off, don't worry. This is just a very good little technique, but we're trying to work the feet in. And I'm going to try to do that from the other side too. We'll make two back feet, and I'll show you, we'll take the ball of clay, we'll flatten this out again, just like this. You might want to make these feet a little bigger than the front ones, because the back feet are sometimes a little larger than the front. So this is what you want for the back, and I'll make another one just like it. So we're going to take this, squeeze in your fingers like this, just like that, and we're going to make that nice, just like that. So see that there? And then what we'll proceed to do is we're going to take and place that on the bottom, just like that. And just kind of work the clay. See, I'm just kind of working the clay like that. And you can attach it, the foot, like that. And we'll proceed to do the other one on the bottom, right here, just like that. We'll proceed to place that right there. So the next thing I want to do is I want to kind of put this down on the table and kind of see where he's at. Maybe work the neck a little better. You know, you got that. Just like that. And what I think we'll do next is I think I'd like to make the eyes. So we have our trusty little sculpting tools, which can be bought in any art store. They come in a package like this. And the tools that we want to use tonight are this particular tool right here. It's got a nice triangle on it, and it will enable us to make the eyes. So we'll take and we'll scoop out the eyes. So what we're going to proceed to do is we're going to go here, and I'm going to look here, and we're going to take and we're going to scoop out the eye a little bit, like just like this. So see how I'm taking this thing? You take this, and you kind of just go in there and scoop out the eye. I want to just make sure I didn't leave any debris behind. And then we're going to take and do the same for the other side. So you take this, see that? And just kind of work that like that. And scoop out the other side. Want to see that, see how big it is. Might have made it too big, but we'll see. Want to make sure they're about the same size. So right now, if you look at that, see the eyes? How I scooped them out? Now we're going to take little pieces of clay and put them back in there. So we're going to take the clay that we scooped out, and I'm going to take and try to place the clay back into there. You take and make a little round eyeball, just like this. And I'll try to put it on my finger so you can see how big it is. See that? Very, very tiny. But we're going to take that and put it back into the eye and just work it in. So we'll take this, see I'm taking this, and you place it back into the eye. But then you take your little sculpting tool and you try to shape it into the shape of the eye. Like that. Just like that. Just like that. And then we'll proceed to do the same thing for the other side. So I'll take another little ball of clay, very tiny, as you can see here, about that size. I'll just, whoop. It's not being cooperative tonight, but it's right there. I hope, and we're going to put that back in the eye. And I'm going to proceed to take and put that right in here. And you take the tool and you just kind of work it back in. We might have to add more clay if it's not enough. It looks like we need to add a little more clay. So I'm going to take another little piece of clay that I have here, and we're going to add it back in. I'm going to take that little piece of clay and put it, see I'm adding that back in there. And we can take this and just work it back in like this. See, I'm just kind of, and then you try to make the shape of the eyeball. So I want to just see how I'm doing that. I want to do the same for the other side. And then what we can do is I like to take the toothpick. If we want to take the eye now, we just take the eye, see this, the toothpick, you put it in the eye and make the little eyeball like this. Just like that. And you do the same on the other side. Just like that. It has a really cool effect. The next thing that we want to do is we want to make the nose. So I'll take a very little piece of clay here, very tiny, and I'll show you. I'm gonna show you. I'll show you the shape once I make it. That way, you can see the scale that we're working on. Just like this. See that? Very tiny. And we'll place that in the front of the nose. We might take away some of the clay, but I'm going to place that in the front of the nose. Right here. And see how we can kind of work that in. We can just work that in a little bit and try to make it roughly the right size. And then what we can do is we want to make the nose. What we can do is you just kind of take this and go create the nostrils this way. So see this, how I kind of make the indentation? You want to go like this. See how that little nose? Isn't that cool? And then what we'll do is we also want to make the mouth. So we're going to take, and I'll go right here with this toothpick, but then we'll take and we'll kind of go out to the side like this. See how we're making the little jaw here? And we're going to do the same on the other side. We'll take, and I'll flip that around, and we'll do it on the other side. Just like this. And Then the next thing that I want to do is I want to create his ears. So we'll take some small pieces of clay, and I'll show you very small. I'll show you the size that we want. We want a couple of balls of clay about this size. I'll try to rotate my hand so you can see those a little better. You want little round balls of clay like that. And what we'll do is I'll show you, we're going to take and squeeze them almost like little pancakes. I'll show you almost into that type of a shape. And we're going to place that on the side of the head. So what I'm going to do is take this and place that approximately, let's see, right there. I'm just going to kind of push down to get that right about there. And I'm going to do the same for the other side, and then I'll show you what I'll do. We'll take this, I'll make a little flat little pancake, and we're going to take and I'll put that on the other side in approximately the same location right here. And what I want to do also is take my sculpting tool, and we want to make a little indentation in that ear. So we're going to take the sculpting tool, kind of make an indentation like this. See how I'm making that indentation? See that indentation? And then what we want to do is do the same for the other side. So I want to take this and kind of place that right here. Kind of make that little indentation with the tool. And I'll show you. Now, see how he looks from the front with the eyes, then the ears on the side. And then the next thing that we'll want to do is probably create his fur. So we'll take very short little strokes and take your toothpick and kind of go like this. Make little strokes like this. And you're going to go all the way around the head and the body in that manner. It's going to go all the way around like that. Another thing that we want to do too is we want to make the feet. So I want to show you, we've used this technique before. We can take and go like this and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Make those little indentations. And then we're going to do the same here. Go 1. I'll try to get a better view here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can kind of see how the feet look. See, you make those little indentations. And we'll do the same for the back feet or the back foot. So we can do, I'll show you from the side. You want to do the 1, 2, 3, and the 4. And you'll do the same for the other side. But I won't do that one because I've shown you at least 3 so you get the idea. And then what we'll proceed to do is on this type of an animal too, because the clay is a little big tonight, I want to take and put a hole in the bottom here. Then I'll put another one here and here so the gases can escape from the clay without having it crack. And we'll proceed to make the fur. Do short little strokes just like this. Just like that. Just keep going all the way around like that. You want to do the body, do little short strokes, just like that. And you're going to do that around the entire body of the sea otter. And I'll show you what he should look like when you're done. This is the sea otter as he's completed without the paint on him. So see how I did the nice eyes? See how you can see the eyes there? See, we made the nice little holes. See the nice little nose, how it came out? The detail on that, I'll kind of show you. See that? and the ears. See how that came out? It's really neat. And then you can see how we've done the fur and the feet. See the feet? It comes out really nicely. It's a really nice technique. And, you know, you do the fur like that, in that manner. The next thing that we would do is I'll show you how to paint him. You can get acrylic paints like this, which can be bought in any art store. And we're going to use several colors tonight. We're going to use, going to take those out. We want a light tan color such as this for the body. We want black for the eyes and the nose. And then we want yellow for the eyes. So we basically have 3 different colors. I'll just double check here. I want to look at my model. And it'll have a really nice effect when we're done. So what we want to do is kind of put these ones aside right now. And I'll show you the types of brushes that you want to use. When you're doing the eye and the nose and the mouth, you want to use a small brush like this. See how small that head is? You want to use something small like that. And then for the body, we could probably use a couple of different brushes. For most of the body, you can use this size. See how it's nice and wide? It'll cover a lot more area. And then we probably want to use, for the face area, with the body paint, use something about this size because it'll be a little easier to work with. I'll proceed to show you how to do the eyes first. We'll use this yellow paint. And these are all brand new, so I gotta break them in. We're gonna take the yellow paint, dab that a little bit, and then I'm gonna look at on the eyes, and we just kind of want to paint the eyes like this. And I'll do the same for the other side. You know, don't worry if you get some, you get it in the other area around the eye. What you can do is you just go back and touch it up afterward. That's the beauty of this paint. Just going to see if I can. Let's see. See how that looks? We just did the eye, and now we'll do the black paint. Let's see, I'll just try that, dab that a little bit in the side, get as much of the water out as I can, and we'll proceed to do the eyeball. So we'll take this. It's brand new paint, so I gotta get these off. There we go. And I'll proceed to do the eyeball. So we'll take this, and we'll just dab that little eye area a little bit. And then I'll try to do the other one. So as you can see, we just did the eyes, and we'll proceed to do the nose and the mouth. So see that we'll do the mouth. And I'll proceed to do the other side. See that? And then we'll do the nose. Just going to dab that with the black paint. So we'll do that. Just like that. And then what I like to do too is I want to do the inside of the ear right here. We'll just dab that a little bit with the black too. It'll give it a really nice effect. And I'll proceed to do the other side. And see how we're going to dab the ear right here. Just like that. And now we'll proceed to do the paint on the body. I will take this, open this up. We'll do the tan. Being a little uncooperative here, but we'll fix it. And the next thing we want to do is we'll do the body. So we'll take this and we'll do, you probably want to do this first. I would do the underneath part. Go back and forth, just like this. See this? Back and forth, just to get the bottom, or the bottom part of the body. And then we'll continue to do that. See, back and forth, just like this. Back and forth. And then we'll do the legs. So I'm doing this back and forth. Just kind of work that like that. Go all the way around. And we'll do the same for the other back leg. Just like that. Back and forth, and then you want to proceed to do the tail in that manner. See how we're just kind of doing that back and forth? It gives it a really nice effect. Just keep doing that, back and forth. And then we'll do the other side. See how we're going to back and forth, dab it, and just keep going back and forth with the brush like that. We'll proceed to do the other leg, just like that. And you want to do it in that manner. And you'll do the entire body like that. And then I'll show you with the face, you probably want to use a different brush as I had shown you. We'll take and we'll use a much narrower brush right here, because when you're doing the face, just kind of use this to dab in and around the face. See how I'm just trying to do that lightly? I'm trying not to get it on the work that I just did. See that? Just kind of ever so slightly just use this brush. It's a better brush to use for the face. That way you don't cover up the nose and the eyes, and it's a little easier to work with. And you'll proceed to do the entire body in that manner. And I'll show you what it should look like when it's completed. When you complete the paint, this is what your sea otter will look like. You can see the yellow in the eyes, the nice black, the black nose, the black mouth there. And see how it has a really nice effect when you put the black in the ears. It accentuates it. And then paint the entire body in that nice tan color, the feet, everything. And it'll have a really nice effect, and it's a really cool little animal. And I do hope that you enjoyed the show tonight, and I do look forward to seeing you again next week, and I will get back to my sculpture right here. Thanks again. Hi kids, how would you like to win some professional modeling clay like the one that I used in the show? Please send pictures of your creations in clay and we will enter them into a drawing. You can send by mail or email, and I can't wait to see what you've been up to.